And we've had a great summer, had a great fall, and the official practice started in end of September, and we've made some big improvements since then. And I'm excited about this team. They are certainly connected. That's a big word today that we talk about, culture, chemistry, but this group is connected like our group was last year. And even more so, we feel, and because of their character and the culture, we feel like that'll help us in a wide open Sun Belt League.
What can you say would be the biggest improvement in fall and summer?
Just defensively, we've gotten better. Had a good day today. I think we're shooting the ball better. Some of the young guys have gained confidence in their stroke. They put in the time, and the coaching staff's been in there with them. And now that we're as a group, you can see it all coming together.
Guys, a bunch of them were talking about passing the ball as well as his scoring game. What are some of the things he can be able to do?
He's a really good passer. He's skilled with the ball. He can handle it a little bit. Makes good decisions. I think early this fall, when we were scrimmaging before we started official practice, the statistics summary had him down as 12 assists and 3 turnovers. And that's uncharacteristic for a post player. But yet he did that in junior college, and he's continued to do that. So we're excited about what he brings. I expect him to be one of our leading rebounders, and expect him to play solid defense, good assist. He moves his feet pretty good. He talks really good on defense. And even though he's a below the rim type player, I don't see any reason why he can't average 8 to 10 rebounds a game.
About a handful of years ago, do you remember his play from Coastal?
I didn't necessarily, Megan. Coach Harden did. He brought him up immediately, and our staff went and saw him play last year at a junior college event in Dallas, and they remembered him, and we pulled back the numbers out. I think he may have scored 6 and 4. That was a high-scoring game, maybe 107 to 100, something like that, against Coastal Carolina. So he was familiar with us, and I think he's just excited to be at a place that got coaches that put their arms around guys and love on them and help them as people, not just players.
Coach, guys like Joe play critical roles. What is it going to take for them to expand their scoring part of the game? Is it about doing more of what they've already been doing, or like actually branching out into other areas?
Yeah, we need them to score. And Joe, Kobe, Kentrell, Themis, Mike, I challenged all those guys this summer to up their game. And we still talk about it. They need to not bump it up another gear, right? Another notch. And they're all capable. Joe looked like Dennis Rodman in practice last week on Friday. I mean, he was phenomenal. He's done a good job. He's shooting the 3 good. Blake Butler's had his moments too, a guy that we haven't really talked about much. He's really impressed me and the coaching staff with his consistency on the perimeter.
Kentrell was always shot a high percentage a lot down the stretch. What's the key to getting that more?
He didn't score a lot down the conference stretch, and part of it's great scouting, because he's already torched some of those teams. And it's no different than Caden Kerfman from Marshall, who was at Media Day in New Orleans. Really, really good shooter, very comparable to Kentrell, but he gets a lot more shots than Kentrell did last year. And we shut him out because we knew how valuable he was to their team. And we got him and Taylor screwed down a little bit, and then Kinsey got some points, but wasn't enough to beat us. So we'll have to get more shots for those guys and spread it around.
Back of the year, started scoring even more. How have you seen his game kind of develop as he's coming into his second?
Leadership. I think he's matured. We had a good conversation in the spring. If you remember, we put his name in the transfer portal. I was out of town, and when I got back a couple of days later, we talked, and he immediately pulled it out. And he was getting some bad advice to somebody, and we talk about real things with our coaching staff and our players. So I laid it out to him. He was back, and I told him that he had some fences to mend with his players, the teammates, et cetera, because they were frustrated when he did that. And he did that. He's worked hard with our coaching staff, and he's really opened up as a leader on the court, and I think off the court as well. And his scoring last year was huge for us down the stretch. I mean, and he's shooting the ball much better, shooting the three-point shot much better, and playing with a lot of confidence. And I would expect him to have the same results that he had last year, but again, go up a gear. By adding the three basketball schools was impressive, and then Southern Miss has the largest turnaround in NCAA history, and had over 8,000 people when we were there for that basketball game. I was teasing Coach Ladner at the league meetings. Every time I see a tweet or something about Southern Miss, it's a picture, and I'm like, I know who that game was. The students or the players weren't on the court yet, but it was an empty court, but a full arena. But all those teams are picked in the top 7 of the league this year, so they're all in the top half. Um, there were some losses from a couple of them, but everybody had losses. So it should be an open race. It should be a very competitive race. We look like where we are at this time, and want to continue to get better.
How do you respond to being hunted this year?
We're used to it. I mean, we always get everybody's best shot, I think, in every sport, let alone basketball. So we'll be prepared and ready to go at it. I think Southern Miss, on the other hand, they were picked 13th, and we're going to see how they like playing from the front because it's different.
Being at home last year, extra pressure.
No, but we've got an outstanding schedule. In the very first game, Will's against Youngstown State, 15-3 in their league last year. Got beaten in the conference tournament with NIT. Very, very good team. We play Sanford at Sanford. You guys remember that game last year? It was a really good team. Eastern Kentucky finished the top of their league. They're expected to win their league. A-Sun, they're coming in here as well in December. And then we've got to go to Ruston, to Lake Charles. McNeese will be picked to win their league, and they host the conference tournament, so they're expecting big things there. And we're in a conference or a tournament, Fort Myers, an MTE, where we will open up with Wright State, who has got a really good team, and it'll be a tough schedule there. But as far as at home, we play. We try to win them all at home, try to win them all on the road. But there's no pressure. We've got a banner that'll be up in the Cajun Dome this year, and I was really proud of that group last year for finishing off a tough night against South Alabama on ESPN2.
Kobe talked a little bit about the fact that maybe the identity of this team is toughness this year. They're not as big as some of the others. Do you agree with that? That you guys are going to have kind of a tough physical brand?
Yeah, that's what we'd like to do, George, for sure. And we always stress defense. We've got to be really good defensively. And I think we're making strides to get there. We don't really have a rim protector. Kyron's a good shot blocker. Blake Butler's a good shot blocker. But we don't have the 6'10", 7-footer. And most teams in our league don't. There are only a couple of teams that have that. So it's going to be a lot of perimeter-oriented style of plays that we'll have to deal with. And I think ours will do fine against those guys.
Kyron mentioned, talked to him, because he redshirted, he had an opportunity to watch guys like Terrence last season and how they complemented each other. And he mentioned how he believes him and Hosanna can do the same thing. Kind of seeing that of how they can be a 1-2 punch in the postseason.
Well, they're certainly different. So I think that's a good thing when you have two guys in the same position that play different. And Kyron's about 75 pounds lighter than Hosanna, so they're different. And Kyron does play above the rim. he's had a really good last week of practice. He had an ankle sprain a couple of weeks ago and missed a couple of days, but he's come back and really made progress. And look forward to seeing how he does in our closed door scrimmage on Sunday.
Could this team be, obviously got a lot of new players and gradual process, but by the end of the year, could this team be better defensively?
Yeah, we have to be, Kevin, yes, and we think we can. We have to be. One thing we did really good last year was take care of the basketball. And we had a positive assist to turnover ratio, and as we know, any sport, that's huge. Teams are good enough; they don't need any extra help. So we got to rebound the ball as a group. We think we can do that too. We stress rebounding every day and do a lot of physical work on the glass. So we'll have to back off that at some point because I don't want to get a guy hurt. But so far, defensively, we've been good, and we need to be better in that area.
Kobe is healthy.
Well, we'll have to see how he holds up. He's going to play more minutes than he did last year. And when he came in last year, it was kind of unfair to him because we were, 10-2 at the break. And against Coastal, he got in, shot a couple of quick shots, and that's the one loss that really haunts me was the game at Coastal. And then we go to Old Dominion. Kobe didn't play, didn't score, shoot the ball great. So we kind of held him at his minutes. And some games he would get 10, 15 minutes, and I mean, that was about it. And in the NCAA tournament, he gets 25 minutes. We knew that he could play against Tennessee and the big, strong bodies. And we would hope and have Greg healthy, which we didn't. But those two guys could play against that type of team, and Kobe did that. He played extremely well. But his statistics, conference-wise, were what he averaged, 4.5 or something. And to me, he was a third-team all-conference player 2 years ago. Got hurt, and now he's not all-conference. And you got about 10 guys that haven't bounced the ball in this league, and I don't agree with that. So he's using it as motivation, just like Themis did last year. He felt like he should have been on the all-conference team.
Anything else for Coach? Thank you, Coach.
Thanks.